Hello, my loves. How are you? I'm going to go into some support messages for you. So, whatever you see on the title will be what came through. With that said, given the last few videos and yesterday's member video with the Divine Masculine Collective, I was guided last night to record the resolving self-doubt session. So that's available now. It was quite broad. We really started out in the collective energies and came all the way down into the heart space, just resolving any seeds of self doubt and not only welcoming in, of course, the higher self soul essence, but a new energy came in connected to the exponential potential of not only you as a being, but stepping into your conscious creatorship as well as co-creation with others and the exponential potential that comes from us connecting with one another in our full energies. And of course, whenever I say that, again, each day we're coming into a new version of ourselves because we're continuing to expand and grow and learn and embody into our potential. So it's not this big journey like where, oh, I have to get to this end point. No, this is the journey, the living, the embodiment, the unfoldment, the experience is you each day waking up as a new version of you in a new way. Okay. So let's just see what wants to come through. Right as I said that, I was guided to go right into the priestess of light. I've been sensing a masculine energy may come in with messages. There's a couple things swirling around, but let's see how this plays out. Yeah, sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, prayer. And this is immediately taking me to the gratitude of these experiences, the gratitude of the discomforts of those hard experiences that we've walked through, but the gratitude for ourselves to be brave and courageous enough to face these experiences so that we could actually embody into more and more of our true self each and every day. And of course, I see her connecting with the tree. So, of course, the gratitude for the physicality of our planet, of our bodies, and of this experience, which is why we're always talking about the embodiment of our energy, of the experiences, of the camaraderie, of the reciprocity, and opening up to our next levels in exchange and experience with other people. Okay. Let's see what else wants to come through with this. I feel like okay, what I'm sensing is that there's more energy in process of thawing. Okay. I know that my system feels significantly lighter since doing that resolving seeds of doubt session and allowing things to open, but I'm also aware that more is still opening. You know, it's a process that we're going through. And the weather here today, when I woke up, was 0, feels like negative 22, 23. The last time I checked, it was negative 20, feels like negative 23. So we are in an exceedingly deep freeze. But when these energies happen to me, it feels more like what's been frozen is coming up to actually thaw, just like permafrost. And so some of these energies feel quite ancient. Um, I know obviously it's not freezing everywhere, but even here, like in the States, it's freezing in cold temperatures down even into the tropics, into Florida. I saw something about Jamaica getting freezing temperatures. Like that's the Caribbean. This is a massive shift that we're going through. And I know there's different weather patterns happening all over the planet. And some of that is correlated to the emotional energy of the collective consciousness. And so there is definitely a pocket of energy that is thawing out. So let's see what we have. Okay. This is where the masculine may be entering. I have the Knight of Swords in the High Priestess. This, to me, is speaking about that feminine gratitude, grace, and embodiment. The High Priestess speaks of the feminine being in her stillness, in her silence, and in a deep centered state, just allowing things to unfold. Okay. And what I'm sensing with this is that the feminines may still be having other experience. This specifically feels connected to the actual masculine collective, specifically the way this is coming in. So this is like that deeper divine feminine state that is in the shared space with the divine masculine collective state. And as the feminine is in her stillness, in her embodiment, in her steadiness, holding and allowing things to open in new ways. So, this is what I'm sensing is that this is a part of the feminine system connected to the masculine system. The feminines that are in this energy of stability and acceptance and surrender and trust with the divine masculine connection, this feminine group may again be the same very group that is out being called out of hermit mode. And I want to be clear about this because you're again being called to do two things simultaneously: holding steady and still and stable and surrendered to the connection with divine masculine, and simultaneously going out and about and having new experiences and connecting with new people and allowing yourself to step into your passions, your purpose, your life, your experience, and both are true. And if it feels important that even if you are not fully feeling like you're holding all of this just yet, that's okay. Again, this is more about the awareness of the embodiment that you are being called again to do both. Okay. And just be gentle with yourself through this process. And again, it's your intention and it's that inner stability, the acceptance of the connection to the masculine and just allowing things to unfold. This steady stability, stable stillness within the feminine is allowing the masculine to actually take action. You see, the feminine is still, the masculine is now taking action. Again, this is being mirrored where you're holding that feminine essence within the counterpart container, yet you're taking inspired action in the external in your life. Okay. So I'll let each of you decide how you work with those containers in your own way. You may already have a system, but this is really wanting to come through to signify and validate your experience if you are feeling both or navigating how to work with both simultaneously. It's like the two horses of the chariot, the part of you that is the still, silent high priestess, and the part of you that is the outgoing empress. Okay. So you're being called to really be aware of working with both sides of that. Again, as you're navigating your own internal union energies. So now this is coming through. I do want to go into what the masculines would like us to be aware of. This does feel connected to what I was sensing from yesterday's member video and then the energies that were coming in this morning. If you are interested, the member video yesterday with the masculines went into where they are noticing and resolving self-doubts and fears that were programs planted around not feeling safe to fully love and open to the divine feminine. And so there's some recalibration and releasing of self doubts happening within the masculine system, a recalibration to the version of who they've been and who they're becoming and who they are now, and again, who they're evolving into. So there is that mirror point within the masculine and feminine collectives resolving self doubts. But again, this is happening in very unique ways to each collective. Okay, let's see. What would the masculines like to share? Okay, they actually want me to go into the shaman dream cards. This feels like something that they are going through that they would like you to have an awareness of, is how it's coming through. Okay. Wow. Jeweled web connectivity. So, how this is coming through, it's telling me that the masculines are also coming out of their own caves, their own hermit mode. Okay. And my sense around this as I see this jeweled web is like, I think there was a video last week where I said they were popping out and starting to see possibilities. And it feels like they are, wow, hold on. I can sense this. It's like the masculines reconnecting to the grid. When we talked about the masculines feeling frozen out of the cosmic womb, and then I spoke a few days ago about that energy actually thawing and rising up from the earth, it felt like the masculines weren't landed in the earth, but actually they were hidden and frozen. And now this energy is thawing and resurfacing out from the caves. And to me, this is telling me that they're reconnecting to the higher energy for themselves. They're reconnecting to those parts of themselves, to the earth, to source, to creator in a way that, again, is their sovereign container, is how it's coming through. And this is like really, really important for them to be able to expand into their true capacity as well. And again, here's another mirror point where the feminines are being called to open back up and also hold stillness. The masculines are being called to open up in a new way and also hold other forms of stillness. Where they would usually take action, they're now being still because a whole other world of action is opening in a different direction. Okay, let's see what else. I can really, this feels like things are thawing and opening. This feels like neural pathways to me. It feels like connected to that exponential potential energy that I spoke about. It's always been there. It's always been within the masculine. It's always been within the feminine. We just didn't have access to it, or there was the frozen energies, the suppressed energies where it couldn't actually connect and land in. This to me feels like where things are lighting up for the masculines. And again, they just showed it to me like a corridor or a cave or a hallway that's like pitch black and you can't see where you're headed. You don't even know that you're in a hallway or a room or whatever. And then all of a sudden, all the lights start to click on, and all of a sudden, you can see which direction to go. Okay. And part of that is where the feminines are holding and again, simultaneously taking inspired action as they are guided. It's really what's happening is we're holding the extremes, but we're coming out of holding only in one extreme. Now we're being called to embody the potential of living the extremes because we've trained our systems, or we're in the process of training our systems to really know when to hold, when to be still, when to take action, right? know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, right? And just knowing when to just allow things and when it is appropriate to speak or take action. And this feels, it's not again about perfection. This is about progress. It's through the actual experiences that we gain the information that we're needing to know what feels correct for us now. Okay. It's about the presence, the standards, the inspired action, the neutrality, the trust, the surrender, the connection, the allowing things to show you what they are and what they want to become versus you trying to force it, right? It's like you planted the seeds. Now let the seeds show you how they want to grow, right? We're resolving the seeds of doubt and planting seeds of exponential potential. That's what that whole session was about. If any of you want to roll with that, if you want to check that out. There is more that wants to come with this jeweled web. So let's see. Okay. This feels like what I'm sensing is the masculine is seeing the feminine in a new light. And this is actually why it's so important for the feminines to come back out, to open back up, because the feminine embodied in her presence, in her stability, is actually what provides the divine masculine with the map and the activation and the keys and the codes for what his next moves are. Not because he's going to be like the feminine or do like the feminine, but the information the feminines are holding, it's now like, okay, now they know what to click in, right? The masculine system is going to adjust and work with what the feminine is holding and sharing, right? So what they're showing me is sort of like, if the feminine has all of the flowers closed, there's nowhere for the masculine to click in, right? It's like the flowers and the bees, right? If the flowers are closed, the bees just buzz around, but they have nowhere to go. But as the feminine opens, as she feels comfortable, that actually gives the masculine a place to land and exchange the information. Okay. And this is just in the energies and however you choose to participate or experience these energies. But again, this is just your presence, right? The flower blooms and it's just there and available for what is aligned. Now, remember, your standards are going to be what holds and only draws in the bees or the butterflies that are going to respect the flower, correct? And so this capacity to open and allow is actually activating those neurotransmitters, the information. It's activating the dormant codes that have lived within the masculine. Like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. This is where divine feminine is. So I can let go of the caves and the shadows and the heaviness because she's holding this new energy now. And so that allows this part of my system to come back online. And wow, okay. So you can feel this internally, but you'll also start to see it externally with the masculines if you're not already seeing this already. Okay. So this capacity that you're holding in stability, but also feeling safe to let yourself reopen as it aligns. You see what I'm saying? It's naturally attracting who is ready to receive those codes. And of course, it's always up to you to discern the levels in which you participate within this. Okay. I feel like there is one more that wants to come out from the masculines. Okay. They're actually having me go into the mystical shaman, the crow. Okay. Yes. This entire process is allowing things to bridge from the heavens to the caves, right? It's allowing the opening for both. The opening for the feminine allows the opening for the masculine. The codes that the feminines open and allow to be exchanged then opens codes within the masculine that now the masculines can share back with the feminines. It is like a volleyball game, a ping pong game, a tennis game. You hit the ball and then they hit it back, right? And you just let it keep going. Sometimes it might get quiet while everybody's processing, and you just wait to see when the next volley comes. And in the meantime, you keep focusing on your part. Remember, the crow holds from the heavens to the earth. The crow flies with the eagles, but it gets down with the squirrels, right? It's this capacity to navigate all of the dimensions and really be in physicality. The crow is one of the most intelligent birds. Okay. So this is also activating new intelligence information within the feminine and the masculine. What I feel is being activated right now in this embodiment, in this experiential process that we're allowing to unfold is actually the keys and codes for the new templates for that sustainable sacred union energy, right? We're still building, we're still opening, but that makes perfect sense. It's appropriate. We're not just going to go from hermited to full blown sacred union in most cases because it's the experience within this experience that we're opening up to where we build the muscles, the next level of muscles. Okay. And again, remember, this is the purpose. This is a big part of the purpose of the masculine and feminine collectives in these dynamics. It's again not this one specific outcome that we have to rush to. It's the process of the embodiment that we actually consciously create what we have been asking for. Okay, my loves. So you actually have a lot more to do with the foundation of the building of these templates. Yes, it was anchoring the codes. Now we actually have to live them. Okay. So this is beautiful. I love this. And it feels like where the crow energy for both the masculine and feminines meet in the middle. And it's bringing me again to yesterday's member video. It was from the other deck, but it was a crow as well, and the heart space being activated. So there is a lot more happening underneath the surface right now for both the masculine and feminine collectives. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to put my information in the pinned comment that resolving seeds of doubt, expanding exponential potential session will be there. It's also, again, over in the post tab or on my website, Patreon. I'm going to leave it here. Send you so much love for the rest of your weekend, wherever you are. If you are experiencing the frigid cold like I am, stay warm, or wherever you are on the beaches in the sun, sending you all so much love. Enjoy exactly where you are and know that you are right where you are meant to be. And you're doing a beautiful job. All right, my loves, take care. Peace.